Messy, patchy, overgrown. That's how most trees end up looking without a little care at their base, but it doesn't have to be this way. Boom, clean, professional, and done by you. In this video, I'll show you how to install your own DIY tree rings like a pro. No fancy equipment, no guesswork, just real results that instantly level up your landscape. Ready to go from lawn chaos to curb appeal? Let's dig in. What's going on, everybody? My name is Adam with Zenker Landscaping, and I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of a tree ring install job here. Basically just like a tutorial, and I'll show you everything you need to do, everything you need to know, and the whole process behind it. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find out exactly how wide you want your tree rings to be. It's very important to identify how mature your plants are to kind of determine how wide they should be. General rule of thumb, realistically go about 2 times the distance of the interior of the tree or plant, whatever you're going to be installing a tree ring around. So if the canopy under here is about 1 foot, we're going to want at least a 2-foot tree ring. Now for this particular tree, we're going to be doing a 2.5-foot bed. So that's going to be 30 inches exactly. So you could see, we're going straight to the trunk, and we're about 30 inches. All right, so let's go over the tools that we're going to need for this job. Firstly, you'll need a tape measure so that you can figure out exactly how wide your tree rings will be. The next thing will be a good pair of gloves. You don't want to be beating your hands up. It gets pretty rough out here, especially later on in the season once the bugs start coming out more. Or if it's a day like today where it's a little wet, you'll be digging around in the mud. So a good pair of gloves is definitely recommended and advised. The next tool you'll need is a flat shovel. At least I call this a flathead shovel. Call it whatever you want, make fun of me. It's a flat shovel. Next, you'll need a good metal rake. Not like a solid one, but a metal tine rake like this. Allow you to get those debris out and make a cleaner look. Next is an edger tool like this. It's almost, if not the most important tool for this job. You can find them at any kind of big box hardware store. Same with any of these tools in this video. You can get them at a box or a big box store. Not required but advised is an edging weed whacker or a mechanical edger. Optimally, you would want a bed redefiner. We don't have one just yet. I'm waiting to get a few more of these jobs here before I take the investment on that. But a good edger would be another very important tool for this job. The last thing you'll need is some kind of wheelbarrow and some kind of debris container. Wheelbarrow so that you can remove the sod and dirt and grass, and then this is kind of just for more of the detailing things. But yeah, those are really all the materials you'll need, and I'll show you how they all work together. Now, one more thing to note is you'll need a solid dump location. If you don't have a place on your property to easily dump debris, you'll need to have an okay vehicle, like a truck, to be able to then haul away the debris to an applicable dump site. That is one very important piece, because during this process you will remove a decent amount of debris. During my test, you can see behind me, it's about a wheelbarrow per tree ring. At about 2.5 foot, you'll get about a full wheelbarrow for each tree ring that you'll complete. So whether you want to relocate that sod into patchy parts of your grass, or if you just want to get rid of it entirely, that is an important thing to think about before starting this job. So we're going to be tracing out the perimeter of the tree ring here, and then we'll be filling it in and making it nice and smooth and fluid. I usually do like a star pattern and then connect them all. And then you can see me here, I'm just dividing up into like pie slices, to put it simply. It makes it a lot easier to shovel it all up, and you can get them all into nice big pieces depending on how your soil is. You can see here they're nice and chopped up. And then from here, we're just gonna grab our flat shovel and start scooping. Alright, so we got ourselves a dugout tree ring around the tree here. Now we just need to go in, clean it up a bit, remove this excess dirt, and then from there we'll just touch up the edge a little bit and we'll be on to the last step. All right, and there we have it. A nice completed mulch bed tree ring. And it looks just like the others. And I'm gonna be digging this one out here in a moment. And then, oh, nice. All right, so the next step is to get ourselves some mulch. Alright, so the last step is getting ourselves some bulk mulch. I have here some brown, using a little bit of leftovers from the last job, and you can use really whatever you want. If you're going to do rock, all I ask is that you only use the landscape fabrics or rock. If you're going to install mulch, do not install a landscape fabric underneath mulch. It's just a sin, a mortal sin. Do not do it. So, without further ado, let's get this mulch in. Now, a quick tip I want to touch on is use a bit of mulch in a 5-gallon bucket. When you're working in some tight spaces, it's a lot easier to use a 5-gallon bucket compared to using a wheelbarrow, especially if you're using, if you're on nicer turf, or if you're just a little bit more cautious, you don't want to make much of a mess trying to tidy things up nicely. So try out using a 5-gallon bucket. Alright, that concludes the mulch install. If we want to come over here, I want to touch on something quickly. When we're looking underneath the mulch here, or underneath the tree, you want to really make sure that you don't have mulch piled up against the trunk here. You can have it spread out, you know. You don't want it like this. You want to have almost a circumference around the tree itself, because then you're not susceptible to root rot or any of the other not so beneficial parts about mulch. But for the most part, this, you cannot go wrong. If I can adjust the camera, you can't go wrong with this here. All done in a couple of minutes and a little bit of hard work. Let me know how your guys' tree rings come out. Without further ado, I'll get a bit more cinematic footage, and that'll be all for today.